Hello everyone, and welcome back to Useful How-To Videos. My name is Mike Sands, your guide to solving tech-related issues. If you find this video helpful, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more useful content. So I have a project where I'm managing all the equipment issues for my work building. In managing these issues, I track when the issue is open with status. I show some comments when the issue is resolved, and so much more. And you'll actually see this list, this Microsoft list that I'm working with, should be on the screen now. But in addition to managing this list, I'm also tasked with informing my manager and everybody else that's on my team. So I'm tasked with informing them every week on the status of these issues that we may be having. And so as a result, I go to set up a Powerautomate that will automatically send updates every day, in this case every Friday morning. And then in addition, I want the date in this update to be formatted a certain way. So that's the purpose of this video here. This video is just to show you how I'm able to, first of all, send an email, set it up where I send an email, and then I include an HTML or a table in the email, and then I format that data. For those of you that are expert and want to save time, here is actually a full picture of what the Powerautomate should look like. And once again, it should be on your screen. But this is just a picture of what the Powerautomate would look like. Don't worry if you don't know what's going on. We're actually going to go through this in more detail, step-by-step detail. Okay, so here we go. Here we go in setting it up step-by-step detail. So the first thing you want to do is you want to hit create. And in this instance, we want to schedule the flow. So I'm going to choose schedule flow, and then I'm just going to add a name to it, and I'll name it weekly email update, and then I'll put equipment issues. And then you can put the date where you want this flow to start. Let's put a date next week. And we're going to send that email every Friday morning. And we want to repeat every week on a Friday, okay? Okay, so that's how it'll go. It'll run every Friday at 9 a.m. and it'll start next week Friday. So we go create, and you should see that recurrence, and allow me to change it to the old design. I just like that one better. So once we click on here, you should see that this recurrence setup runs Friday every week. And if we hit the edit button, we'll see that should see that it runs at 10 o'clock. Okay, so let's go ahead and close that. The next thing we want to do is we want to add an action. So we're going to hit next step. And then the action we want to add is we want to get all the items from the list. So from the list that we reference, we want to get all the items and not an item, okay? So we want to get all the items. And then when we get the items now, we want to specify exactly what list we are referencing. So this would vary for yourself, and I have a filter queue. I want to report everything where the status is equal to. In this instance, is going to be equal to other, and then or, and then the next line we're going to put status is equal to resolved. Okay, so for the completion status, these are two out of the 5 status that's showing on the list, and I only want to report when the status is other or resolved. And so this get items is going to look for only those items that fit this criteria here, and we wanted to search for all items. Okay. So once that's finished now, we're going to minimize that, and we're going to hit add a new step, and we're going to look for, we're going to add an action type. I'm going to type data operation. When we hit data operation now, we're going to go and select the data operation. Select data operation here. When we select data operation now, what we want to say is is asking us now, where are we selecting this data from? We're going to select this data from the get items values here. So if we click here, and if we go to dynamic content, we're going to go to get items value. And then now it's asking us, now what information do we want in this table here? Okay, so we're going to choose the issues open date, and that value is going to be issues open. Next thing we're going to choose is we're going to choose the subject, and notice that on the left side we're typing it. I'm going to choose the subject, and let's choose the status. And in this instance, it's going to be the status value. Okay, it's going to be status value because the status is from the status in our list is chosen from a choice list. So it's a choice list. It comes from a choice list where you have to choose it. Okay, so now once we get there, now we want to add a new step. And before going on, I would really recommend maybe renaming each one so that there's no confusion at all, or so that you could actually remember. So we just want to say select data to use in email table. Okay. So our next step now is, once we now have this information now, we want to now look for an operation, and we want to type create HTML. So now once we now have the data in this step here, now the next step is we want to tell it now, take that information and then create an HTML table. And what's the source we want to create it from? We want to create it from this source, whatever's created from this row here. So we look for select data to use an email and output. Okay. The other thing we want to do is we want to give our Powerautomate a certain style that we may want to follow. If you know anything about HTML tables, there's a style or HTML coding that uses for a particular style. So we can go and find that style online actually. So before we do that, what we want to do is when we add an action, we want to just select a data operation, and then we want to look for compose actually. Why don't we choose compose? And then we want to compose, and let's rename this to styling of HTML table. Okay, so that styling is where we're going to dump the coding in this box here. So to choose any styling, I would just go online and I would do a simple search, HTML style script for tables. Okay, HTML style script for tables. I like this link here. And let's just say we want it to follow. Style is kind of simple. I'm just trying to find a more intricate styling that we could use for our example here. Let's use this different HTML styling tables for 2 color. I guess we may have to go back here. So you get the drift of it. Is that if you want to find something particular to your preference, all it would take is a simple search. To see what kind of styling that you want. But let's just say that it's this particular styling here, and we would hit. So if the table would look like this, we want to select coding in between these HTML code, between the styling codes. So where it starts from here and it ends with there. Okay, so the table will should look something like this one here. So if we go back to our flow, we actually copy this code here and we paste it here. So what this means now is that the table that was created here, we were going to tell the Powerautomate to use this styling, the format, and here's how we tell it to do that. So now we want to send an email. So we're going to go to send email v2, and then here now is where you want to of course you want to enter in your email, the email you want to send it to, maybe any subject. So we're going to just label it test email for Powerautomate. You can type anything you want there, but this is the most important part in the body. Here is the update for this week. So now here, what you want is you want to put the styling output first, and then you want to put the HTML to it. Okay, so first is the styling of the HTML table output, and then you want to specify the HTML table output, and then you want to say sincerely YouTube. Your name, YouTube viewer. Okay, so once that's the case, now what we're going to do now is we're going to save it and we're going to test it. Okay, so here we go. So it's saving. You see it's saving, and you say as your flow is ready to go, we recommend you test it. So what should happen is you should see an email where the message pops up. Okay, so we're going to do a manual one. And now we're going to go check our email. Well, let's wait to make sure. See, it processes. So it should have processed. Now let's go check our email. And you'll see here, issues open date, or should be date. It's just a matter of we or I miss type. But you'd see here that issue open date, or the date is here, the subject, or what equipment issues we wanted to talk about, and then the status of each of those. And remember, we only wanted to filter based on other and resolve. You could choose, you could format this however you want to format it. It's totally up to you. Okay. Now there is an issue that I want to highlight, and that issue is if you look at the date here, you'll see that the date is in a format that I do not like. So I actually want to go back and format it so that the month comes first, the date comes second, and then I want a two-digit year. Okay. So we're going to go back to our Powerautomate and just edit that or adjust that. Okay. So I'm going to hit edit. So where we would edit that is in the select data to use. What I'm going to do is, well, first of all, I'm going to fix this different date. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this here and just enter another column just to show that what we're using would actually work. So I'll hit issue open date, and then in bracket I'll put new. Okay. Now this one is a little different. Instead of now actually looking for the issue open date, we now have to enter in a special expression to format the issue date. And so the expression should follow the expression that's on your screen. And so the name of the field, you notice that the name of the we'll need to know the name of the field. The name of the field is pretty easy to figure out. So here's how you figure that out. You have to go back to the list. So this is the list once again. We're going to go to list settings, and we're going to look for the column that we want. So if I believe it's issue open. If we go to issue open here, and you look in the web browser, you'll see that the web browser field equals. So whatever this name is considered the name of the field. Okay, so we want this name here. So if we go back to our Powerautomate now, and we type in that expression, the expression once again is format, date, time, and then we open bracket, item. So type it in the exact same way. The only thing we're changing is the name of the field. My name of the field is called issue open. And then I want, like I said, I want 2 months. The month always has to be in capital M's, in case you're wondering, okay? So 2 big M's for month, date, and then year. So if you want a 4-digit year, just enter 4 Y's, but I only want 2. So, and then I'm going to hit OK, and then you'll see that the issue open format will look like this. Okay, now we're going to save it, and we're going to test it again. And what should happen now in this new email is you should see not 3 columns like we saw the first time we tested it, but now you'll see 4 columns. So we're going to automatically using the trigger that passed the first time. We can do it manually, of course, as well, or also. But I just choose to use the. Okay, so should go through, and we should see an email. So let's go back and check our email now. As you can see now, we now have the revised email. The date is corrected. So this is the original format that Powerautomate sends the email in. The subject is no difference, status no difference, but look at the date. The date is in the format that we wanted. Okay, so this is how you do it. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share, and subscribe for more how-to videos. Feel free to leave a comment if you have any questions, or if there's a specific topic you'd like me to cover in a future video. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.